Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and I am peeved. I'm peeved, you know, and it's because, well, today's video is about that. It's peeves, you know, things that peeve you, you know, and give you the peeves. I don't even know if that's actually a verb, by the way. I'm just randomly saying. But anyway, so today I'm going to be talking about what I consider to be my biggest pet peeve, okay? Now, in case you guys don't know, a pet peeve is something that really irks you, something that really irritates you and ticks you off, you know, to the utmost degree. The thing that most makes you angry in this world, you know? I actually have quite a few things that throw me off the deep end, you know. Now, you guys might not know this, it may not be too apparent watching me on YouTube, but I am a very impatient person, you know. I have very little patience for things around me in general, you know, especially people like these people who run around with their I was gonna say a bad word, with their loud motorcycles, you know, and that kind of thing, you know, and my stupid downstairs neighbor with his stupid loud kids. But anyway, here's the thing. The thing that most irritates me, or has been irritating me a lot mostly, and I actually don't remember if I recorded a video talking about this in the past, but if I haven't, this is the first time. People who don't reply to my messages, okay? I'm sure everybody feels this way. I'm sure you have friends or just random people who never answer you, and it really irritates me, and I'm gonna explain why. Before I get into it, let me just open up a little parenthesis here and say that I am very aware that I am not the center of the universe. Not everyone is obligated to answer me whenever I want them to, but sometimes it almost feels like the person is intentionally ignoring you, you know? I know that people have their own lives and they're busy with stuff and here and there, you know, but sometimes, let's say for example, you send somebody a really long and heartfelt message, you know, you want to talk to them about something serious and they just don't answer. Sometimes the message is so long that they probably just boycotted it for a while, you know, or they thought it was too long and they just forgot about it. I'm aware that people naturally forget. Sometimes even I forget to answer my friends' messages, you know, but it's weird because like if you open the message, like on WhatsApp, for example, if you open it, you visualize it, you read it, why would you not answer? You know, like I think that for one thing, it is incredibly rude. It is probably the rudest thing you can do, you know, and if you are somebody who has the habit of doing this, and well, if you're really good friends with me, if you're a good friend of mine, then that's actually okay. I can understand, like, I already know my friends to a certain degree. Sometimes they're busy, sometimes I'm busy too, and sometimes the message just doesn't really warrant a reply, you know. I can understand that happening sometimes, but it's still really, like, I don't know, it just rattles me to the core, you know. It really angers me when somebody doesn't, you know, I don't know. Sometimes you send somebody a simple short message asking them a simple short question, you know, a very simple thing to answer, and they just don't for some reason, you know. That really irritates me, that bothers me, and I just cannot tolerate it at all, you know. To me, you're just a rude little schmuck, and I don't know. It just, oh my God, it just rattles me, you know, it grinds my gears so hard, and it's something so like, I mean, there are other things to worry about, you know, but this is probably the thing that most irritates me, you know, or at least has been irritating me lately, you know, and it almost drives me mad sometimes, you know, because there are people who always do this, you know, like I don't even talk to certain people anymore because they have this habit of reading but never answering my messages, you know, so I'm like, okay, then whatever, screw you. I don't even talk to them anymore, you know, so that's kind of how I am. I'm a very extreme person, you know, so yeah. By the way, maybe I should have turned on my light here. You know, I don't know if it's too dark in my bedroom right now, in my living room right now. I'm gonna turn it on. Give me a minute. Okay, I don't know if it made too much of a difference, but well, I did. You know, it's on. So anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, people who don't answer messages. Now, the thing with this, guys, is that try to imagine from like, I don't know, I guess it depends a lot on the circumstances, you know? Like, people have the habit of, like, for example, people who don't like audios on WhatsApp, you know? I am a very big fan of audios. I like sending audios, you know? I like listening to them as well. Sometimes I enjoy listening to the voice of the person who I'm talking to, you know? And the thing with this is that there are people who just don't tolerate audios, you know? Even though they are easier, you know, to relay information. Like if you have to, like if somebody sends you a really long text, you're gonna have to take the time to sit there and scroll through it and read it, you know, and it can be a little tiring depending on how you're feeling. But if you receive, like, for example, a 1 minute long audio, how is that harder to, like, how is it harder to listen to an audio than read a long text? You know, you can leave the audio playing and you can even do something else. You know, you can leave it in the background. I do this all the time, you know. I have the habit of talking with a cousin of mine in audios, and I'm always sending audios to him and he sends me a text, you know. But I prefer sending audios because it's easier and faster. And sometimes when he sends me a bunch of audios, I can just leave my phone on in the background. I have a pretty small house, guys, you know. So like, for example, I can leave my phone on in the bedroom playing an audio and I can still hear it here from the living room or the kitchen, you know. So sometimes I leave my phone on top of my counter listening to the audios that my cousin sent me while I do the dishes or something, you know. So it's really, really convenient. So I don't really get people who don't like audios. There was this one girl who stopped talking to me completely because I think we were kind of having a thing. We were hitting it off for a bit, you know. And then it's like we started talking on WhatsApp. She gave me her number. Then I sent her, I think, like 2 or 3 audios, and she was like, you know what? It's gonna take a while for me to get back to you because I hate listening to audios. Okay, I'm like, okay, diva much? So anyway, and she still hasn't, by the way. She never listened to the audios, never answered me, so whatever. So I'm like, it doesn't really, I realize that it comes down to personal preferences and all, but how is it harder to listen to an audio than read text? But anyway, the point is, I really don't like when people don't answer me, you know? Like, if you have an actual legitimate reason, like, oh, I'm sorry, I was busy with work, I was studying, or quite plain and simply, innocently, I forgot. Okay, like, but if you open the message, like, do you not make a mental note to yourself to answer that person later? Because that's what I do. You know, I hate leaving people hanging, you know, and my WhatsApp visualizing thing is always on. So if you send me a message, you know, it's going to tick blue for you. And if I sense, and if the same thing happens otherwise, like the messages ticks blue to show that I've read it, and then vice versa. So like, I don't like leaving people hanging. Like, if I leave a message tick blue for too long, the person might think I'm ignoring them, you know. And I actually knew this one guy. He was a douche. I don't talk to him anymore. This English bastard who lives in a city nearby, who was kind of like, that's kind of like how he works, you know. Like, whenever you send him a message and you take, he sends you something and you take too long to reply, he gets all butthurt and cringy, you know. He's like a puppy who's not getting enough attention, you know. So it's like, it's one of those things, like, I think that, like, whenever you don't answer somebody's message, depending on how that person is, if you're a butthurt idiot like this English person who I'm talking about, then yes, of course, you're going to feel all sorts of emotions when somebody doesn't answer you, you know? But that's what happens when you're a rich gringo who's married but doesn't go down on his wife, you know? But anyway, so, all of the polemics aside, you know, let's go back to that, you know? Yeah, it sounds like I'm picking a fight here, but I'm really not. I'm just saying how I feel, and the person who I'm talking about, you know, can't even watch this video. I blocked, you know, him or her, them, from my channel, so yeah. But anyway, so here's the thing. Kind of lost my train of thought there. Oh yeah, so regarding people who don't reply to you, I think that depending on the circumstances, it can just come off as incredibly rude. You know, it comes off as really, really, really crass, and I actually hate it. You know, I really, really hate it. I despise it. It is the thing that most pisses me off right now, you know, because especially when you're in quarantine, you know, I'm actually not, I still kind of am, but not entirely. I actually got a job, you know, I started working during the week. More on that later, but the thing is that depending, like, if you're sitting at home in quarantine and your friends are too, and they like, and you guys want to talk to each other, but then you send someone a message and they just don't reply, I guess that can kind of make you feel a little lonely, you know, depending on how you see it. But it also makes me feel like I'm being ignored, you know. So I guess that's why I always try to prioritize answering people. And whenever somebody doesn't answer me, sometimes I may, like, I don't know, maybe in a day or two, I'll send them another message, either unrelated or in the same topic, to see if I can kind of poke them a bit, you know? That's just a habit that I have. But yeah, guys, I mean, like, just a random tip, you know, if you're somebody who knows me in real life, or you have my personal number, or we talk outside of YouTube, you know, just don't ever leave me hanging, because I hate it, you know. I mean, I can understand if you get busy and you forget or this, but like, if you're actually intentionally ignoring me, not gonna be friends for too long, you know. And sometimes I can understand. I have friends who are very popular, let's say, and they are always getting messages on their WhatsApp, you know, and other places that they talk, you know. So I can understand that sometimes they don't have the time, you know. It's way too many messages to sift through and answer, you know. So I can actually understand that completely. Believe me, I do. I've been there, you know. Sometimes I get a lot of messages and they just get, like, certain messages, certain conversations get pushed down all the way to the bottom. So yeah, it's just, it happens, you know. I can understand, but it still irritates me when somebody doesn't answer me, you know. I just, God. How the hell have I managed to record like a 10-minute or so long vlog just talking about this, you know? But yeah, I just wanted to get the message out there, you know? My biggest pet peeve, you know, at least at the moment, at the time of recording this video, that is the thing that most irks me. But I think that's it. That's it for now, guys. You know, word of advice, don't ignore me when other people are in your life because they might feel the same way that I do. But that's it. That's it for now. I think that's all I can say for the time being. This is Chazzy, signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.